Hello. Welcome to today's auto webinar. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sridevi and I'm part of the Learning and Content Management team. Joining me are my colleagues Nikita from Learning and Content Management team, and we have Arun, Hema, Robin, Vidya, Shrikant, and Aparna from our LaTeX project team. Before we begin, a few housekeeping items. If you have a question at any time during the content of the session, please send your questions directly to us in the Q&A option. We will try to answer as many questions as possible during the session. If we cannot answer all the questions, we will reply to you directly after the session, unless you post a question anonymously. We'll also cover some of the questions at the end of the session. For the best view, you may wish to drag the central bar on your screen to the right to enlarge the screen that we are sharing. And you may also wish to enable live transcripts via the bar on the bottom of your screen. Now let's take a look at our agenda today. Our session today aims to give you all information you need to successfully submit a LaTeX file to Editorial Manager. It brings us great pleasure to inform you that this is our second webinar focusing on LaTeX, and we had aimed to add all the feedback provided by authors during our first webinar. In this session, we will take you through Introduction to LaTeX, templates we support. We're going to see a demo on how to download, fill, and upload the LaTeX template to Editorial Manager, and we will be using our test site for this demonstration. And at the end, we are also going to see a few frequently asked questions and how to reach support. So coming to the introduction, LaTeX is a software for typesetting documents for high quality testing. This is most often used for medium to large technical or scientific documents. LaTeX features are typesetting journal articles, typesetting of complex mathematical formulas, automatic generation of bibliographies and indexes, and control over large documents containing sectioning, cross-reference, tables, and figures. The templates we would support are the CTAN packages, ELS article, which was first developed and released in 2007, BibTeX style files, ELS class templates, and other journal-specific LaTeX template. We would first take you through the LaTeX instructions available on elsevier.com for authors under policies and guidelines. And I'm going to stop the slideshow mode, and I'm going to take you through the LaTeX instructions page. Nikita, could you please confirm if you're able to see the LaTeX instructions page?
Yes, Sridevi.
Thank you so much. You can find these instructions, the LaTeX instructions, directly in your guide for authors in your journals. This was recently added. To download the entire package, please click on Download the Journal Article Template package, which will be downloaded straight away to you. So earlier this was with multiple clicks, but now we have this in a single click as such. Should you wish to view a detailed instruction on how to fill this template, we have the ELS documentation available. So if you click on the ELS article documentation, it will take you to a detailed step-by-step process that will show you how to fill this template. Should you have any questions in completing this template as such, you can get in touch with ELS article at stmdocs.in. The email address is available inside this documentation. Coming back to our LaTeX instructions, we have single and double column class files available for complex articles. And to download the file, you can click on the download option available here. We also received several suggestions in our first webinar. And the common suggestion that everyone shared was, can you show us a demo or a video as to how do we fill this template? Because in our earlier webinar, we did focus on the Editorial Manager. So we will now see a short video that will show us how to fill the template that we just downloaded from the LaTeX. I'm going to go ahead and show you the video now. Nikita, can you confirm if you're able to see the video page?
Yes, Sridevi.
Perfect. Let me play the video for you.
We'll now see a short video that will show us how to
Is it clear now?
Perfect.
Thanks.
fill the template. Include the journal name in the corresponding /journal command and the article title in the /title command. And then enter author names and affiliations in the corresponding commands. Also ensure that details like city, state, country, and postal code are included in the respective commands to avoid errors. Follow the same procedure to include the details of the co-authors as well. If the author belongs to more than one institution, please use the second \author command, else you can comment the /author command. Enter the abstract content in the /abstract command. If there is no graphical abstract in the article, please comment the entire graphical abstract section. For the highlights section, within the highlights command, please use the /items command to enter each highlight point. Enter the keyword content in the /keyword command. Author can now enter the main text of the manuscript. For the bibliography section, please choose the required bibliography style and provide the bib file name under the command \bibliography. Please upload the bib file mentioned in the template without fail before compilation. Once the manuscript is compiled, the final PDF will be generated for your reference.
Hope it was clear on how to download and fill the template. We will now focus on how to upload this template or the completed text file to Editorial Manager. I'm going to go back to the Editorial Manager screen. And I hope you can see my Editorial Manager screen now. So this is a test site, as I mentioned at the beginning of the session. So we have used this test site to demonstrate, the submission for you. So you will log into Editorial Manager and you will click on Submit New Manuscript. And I have an incomplete submission, just kept it for reference, which I'm going to use for demonstration. So you will be selecting, let me click on Edit Submission for me to show this to you. So when you click on Submit New Manuscript, you will be selecting the article type first, and then the second step is going to be the attach files. So once you select the appropriate article type, you will be in a screen where you're going to be selecting the item type, and we're going to be uploading the submissions. So in the item type as such, for revised manuscript in the attach file stage, to add the text file as an attachment, you will be selecting revised manuscript as an item type. Now, this is an initial submission, and that's the reason I have chosen manuscript here. Right. I'll also show you the files that I have uploaded. Right. So there is a manuscript file here, and you can see that I have tagged the .web, .style, .class, and all the files are being categorized into the manuscript type here. So to ensure that if you have any necessary support files, do ensure that you kind of tag them under the same item type, which is manuscript for initial submission and revised manuscript for your revised submission. If there are figures and graphics in your submission, please ensure that you tag them under the figure item type. You can attach a file from your computer by dragging and dropping it here. Or you can also click on Browse to browse your computer's file list. Please include your archive identifier, your unique archive identifier, if you have stored them on the archive system. I'm now going to provide you a few important things to remember during this process, which will help you to create an error-free PDF. So the points include is that do not refer to a site where your files are stored in your text files. The path will not be recognized by the system, resulting in an error. Do note, while Overleaf might recognize the command, Editorial Manager cannot process LaTeX submissions in folders with a specific file path, so it cannot find files referenced from a folder. To ensure to select the appropriate file types, as we saw, from the item drop-down for each file that you upload. Do not include any subfolders in your submission, as again, Editorial Manager cannot process LaTeX submissions that contains subfolders. All submission files, including figures, tables, your style and bibliography files, must be kept in the same folder. Clicking on Proceed here will allow you to provide additional information required. And after you kind of complete providing this information, I'm going to skip this and proceed to the manuscript data here. So you will have the bill PDF for approval. And clicking on bill PDF for approval will give you a view of the PDF. So you may view the submission, and then to approve the submission, you can click on approve. Right? Now, when you kind of build this process as such, so there are chances that the PDF that you built may result in error at times, right? I'm also going to show you an example of such a file where you have, you don't see the manuscript text, rather you see the error codes like this, right? So what you do in such conditions is that we have a detailed frequently asked question page that was created. I'm also going to show that to you. And all these links that I show will be sent to you along with the recording. And we'll also try to add that to the chat. How to submit a LaTeX file in Editorial Manager has a list of frequently asked questions. And we have also recently included on how would you identify and fix errors from LaTeX error codes. So when you click on this FAQ link, that would take you to the page where it gives you the detailed instructions on what are the scenarios. This talks about the different scenarios. And when you click on this plus icon, it also gives you the cause and the resolution. I'm sure that this will be pretty helpful for you to kind of resolve the query at your end. Coming back to the FAQ, we also have the other frequently asked questions added here. And we also review this page as such to see how many clicks are being there for, for specific questions. And based on that, we constantly reorder the questions available here. So if you kind of check this, but still there are cases, like after reviewing this, still you feel that your problem is still not resolved. I'm going to go back to my editorial manager screen. So if you still see a problem as such, you can click on this question mark logo. And you can click on this chat with Elsevier support option. The upcoming screen will allow you to chat with our researcher support agents, but should you also wish to send them an email, you can click on email to do so. Our researcher support will respond to your query received. With this, I'm sure you now have all information in terms of how to successfully submit a LaTeX file to Editorial Manager. Thank you for listening to the content, but I'm going to go back to our slides. So we did cover the live video, and as I said, there will be the useful links that we saw in the session now, and these useful links will be sent to you along with the recording of our session. In Author Guide to Editorial Manager, you will find learning pathway that include links to instructional videos and articles. This cohesive and enlightening learning pathway will guide you through author key tasks, such as manuscript submission process, tracking your status, and so on. We would also like to keep you informed about our upcoming webinars, and you will find the links in the chat now. We're now going to spend a few minutes looking at some of the questions raised in the session. We will still be open for more questions, and I will then hand back to Hema. We're also trying to answer as many questions as possible during the session today in the Q&A channel. Please do post your questions in the Q&A. And if we cannot answer all the questions, we will reply to you directly after the session.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hema from Researcher Support Team. Today, we are going to see the top queries being raised by our authors. One second. Okay, the first one is why the submission system restricts subfolders and it is very difficult to upload the LaTeX supporting files and figures individually. In the Editorial Manager, the files are uploaded in same directory in Attach File section. So it is always advised to maintain a single folder structure when uploading LaTeX files. You don't need to upload the files one by one. Instead, you can upload the zip file containing all the LaTeX files and figures directly into the submission system all at once. Always please ensure that the files are kept within the main folder and not in subfolders. In this way, you can upload all the files successfully without any errors. Next question is, what is the use of having LaTeX source file item type in Editorial Manager? The manuscript can be submitted either in PDF or in editable formats according to the journal requirement. If authors submit the manuscript in PDF format, they can make use of the item type LaTeX source file to upload their source files for production. If the manuscript is provided in editable format, it is always recommended to upload all the source files such as main text file, bibliography, style files, and class files under the respective item type. For example, manuscript in original submission and revised manuscript in revision stage. Please do not tag the text or supporting files under LaTeX source file item type when you submit the manuscript in editable format. This approach ensures that the PDF is built correctly and you can also avoid missing citations. Next question, why we should not use file path in include graphics command. As we mentioned before, Editorial Manager does not support subfolder structures and specifying file path for figures will cause errors as the system won't recognize the path. Therefore, please do not provide the file path when using commands like include graphics, include, or input. Hope these resolutions are helpful. Please post your questions in the chat and we will respond to it. Thank you. Over to you, Shri.
Thank you so much, Hema, for covering those questions for us. So that brings us to the end of webinar, but we're going to stay on the call to answer all your questions. So after this session, we will send you an email that would contain some helpful links that we covered, the webinar recording as such, and also the video guides that relate directly to our topic today. So thank you all for joining us. See you next time.